Hello, welcome to Appium Master Classes. Today in this example we will see how to install and set up Appium in Mac OS, or I can directly say Maverick OS, right? The current version is 10.10 and the Maverick version is 10.9. So I'm going to install Appium and configure each and every prerequisites in Maverick operating system, right? Okay, let's begin. So the prerequisites are, first we need to download Java. So for downloading Java we need to go oracle.com and we need to download a JDK. So I already have downloaded the JDK, but this is a site from where you can download the JDK, right? Okay, great. So here you need to just say accept, and here you need to download a DMG file. Okay, so Mac OS is basically supports .dmg file and other formats, so you can download this particular build. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is a first pre-requirement, right? The second one is you need to download the Xcode, or this is basically a IDE, right? So the current Xcode version is 6.2 is in beta release, but if you want to download the already released version, so you can download the Xcode 6.1.1 if you're using 10.10 version, or if you're using the Maverick version which is 10.9, you can download the Xcode from here. Sorry, actually we need a command line tools and Xcode. You can download the Xcode from here in this link. This is a 6.1.1 version, and this is a command line tools for 10.9 version, right? So you need to download this and this both, right? These are the both prerequisites for installing Xcode IDE, right? And Xcode IDE is a prerequisite for Appium, or I can say this is prerequisite to open a iPhone simulators. Fine. So to open an iPhone simulator we need these Xcode versions, or if you are looking for older versions, you can go down here and see here this Xcode 6.1 is available, and other versions also available in the pages. Whatever the version you need it, you can download it from this particular link, developer.apple.com. One biggest thing here is which we needed is you need a Apple account with developers account, or you need a developers account access, right? So you should go through other articles where you can get it, how to get a developer privileges, right? Great. But this is free, you don't need to pay anything for this. This is a free, you can download it from this particular website. Okay, so once you have downloaded it, right, so this is, suppose for example I have started downloading it, but I have stopped it because I don't need this actually, right? This I already have downloaded a Xcode version, right? Here if you see, I have already downloaded the Xcode 6.1.1 command line tools, and I will show you, let me show you where I have kept my builds, right? So here I have kept all my builds which are required for me to start with, right? So this is a command line tools, right? And this is a Xcode, and this is Java, right? Let me begin with the Java, and once you install all these three things, you can start with prerequisite setup, right? Let me show you how to start and set up prerequisites for Appium, right? This is a Appium build also I have downloaded it, right? So let me start with this. Just double click on this. It will open it, it will mount it, and it will give you to install a package. You just need to click on this and installation will begin. Okay, so installation will begin. You just need to say continue, 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 and finish. That's it. You don't need to do any other further steps, right? So in my case, I already have the JDK is installed, so I'm just skipping this step, right? I hope everybody can able to understand this is the easiest step, right? So once it is done, you can directly right click on this and say eject, right? We don't need this, right? Now the second thing is we need to install the command line tools. Again the same process, right? You just need to click on this and the installation will begin, right? You don't need to bother about anything. You just need to say continue, continue, and finish. That's it, right? So in my case, again, it is already installed, so I hope everybody can able to understand these steps. So I'm just skipping this one also, right? Okay, fine. Now come to Xcode 6.6.1 DMG installation. Again, before that, better you can have a, you don't need this, right? So just say eject, right? So now double click on this. So Xcode will look like something this, right? What you need to do is, here it is clearly mentioned drag to install Xcode in your application folder. So what you need to do here is, once you double click on this, you will get a prompt of Xcode here, right? So what you need to do is, you need to drag this, right? See here, I'm dragging this, right? Drag this and drop to your applications folder, right? But actually for me, again, I already have installed my Xcodes, right? So I'm again skipping this step. It will take a huge time to copy the builds and then you need to install it, right? So this is a simple steps. You don't need to do any changes. You just follow what all instructions they are providing it, and you are good to go with the IDE setup, right? Okay, great. So again I am going to eject this, right? Okay, so the prerequisites, all the prerequisites we have installed it, right? Once the installation has been done, so you will see your installations under applications, right? Just go to applications and you will find your Xcode here, right? So what you need to do here is, you just need to double click on this. Once the installation has been done, after that you just need to double click on this. Okay, okay, just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so once the Xcode has been opened, before that it will display this page, right? So first of all, we need to check and verify whether your Xcode has been properly installed and how to open a simulator, right? So let's try to make a one sample code project, right? So we need to say here, create a new Xcode project. Right, this will look like something this, right? So what we need to do here is we have a lot of options to create a sample project, but I'm going to just select a simple view, means like simple view project, or I can say single view application where I can only see a normal page. That's it. I don't want to I don't bother about what we are going to display, right? We are just wanted to see whether our simulator is working fine or not, right? So just go and select this and click next. Provide some name called demo 1, right? And say next, right? You need to provide some folder name, so I'm going to create a one folder called demo 1, right? Click create and say create, right? So once you have been created the new project, this will look something like this, right? So now don't need to bother about what all settings we need to do it. We don't need to bother about this. We just need to click on this, right? Before that, you can select this, right, and see what all simulators have been displaying. In my case, I already selected only iPhone 5, so that is the reason it is showing iPhone 5, right? So now what it will do is, once you click on this, it will build this project and open a simulator and execute your this first test on the simulator. And our requirement is we need to see whether our simulator is opening properly and displaying or not, right? So let me play this, run this. Right here, if you see, the loading bar is started, right? So first it will do compilation and do the build, and then it will launch, right? Build succeeded. If you see here, one simulator has been started, right? Let me minimize this. See here, the simulator has been started. So before going to install Appium and start the scripting, before that we need to do all these things, because once you start the installation, once you start writing the script and you wanted to execute your script into a simulator, you need the simulator need to be ready, right? For that, first we are just verifying it whether our simulator is working properly or not, right? Hold on for a second, it will take time to load. And if suppose whenever you launch it first time, maybe the dimensions of your phone might be little bit on 100%, so you can go to window scale and you can minimize the percentage of the iPhone simulator, right? Great. Okay, so my simulator has been started, right? Okay, so demo 1 has been launched, right? That means whatever the project we have created in Xcode, that has been successfully launched here, right? And this is the project demo 1, right? Okay, so our first prerequisite to launch a simulator or iOS simulator has been successful, right? Now I can close this simulator, right? Okay, so now I don't need Xcode, right? So I'm just going to close this as well, right? Okay, now my second step is to verify whether Java has been installed or not properly, right? Actually, this is the first step. So better whenever you install it, first you need to verify whether your Java has been installed properly or not. So for doing that, once the installation has been done, no need to go for a Java underscore home setup and all those things. That is also one of the step. But if you don't do that, then also it will work. But only thing is you need to check whether your commands are working properly or not, right? For doing that, what you need to do is java hyphen version, right? So if you type this command java hyphen version, and if it is start displaying a particular version number, that means you're good to go with the java as well. So that means your whatever the installation has been done, that has been already configured your java properly, right? If you are not able to see java version, that means your java has been not installed successfully. For that, you need to check out what went wrong, and in that case you need to go and set up a java underscore home and the java underscore home into a path variable, right? And for me, I have tried it without doing that, but for me it is working fine. Only thing is you need to check whether java hyphen version is displaying a proper result or not, right? Okay. Okay, so command line tools, we have installed it, we have installed the Xcodes, our java has been installed successfully. Now the time is to install the Appium, right? So again, go to the installation location, or sorry, not installation location, go to the build location where your builds have been kept, right? So here I have copied my build, right? Or downloaded my build, right? Appium, I'm currently using 1.3.4, right? And now 1.3.5 is already released, so you can download that as well if you need the latest build, right? So what you need to do here is just again the same steps, double click on this, it will mount the Appium and it will show you Appium to drag and drop to an application, right? Again the same step, you need to drag it and drop it into an application, right? Okay, so for me this step have been already executed, right? So I'm going to skip this. There is no other steps, you just need to copy it and just follow all the instructions which it will show you, right? Once you're done, you will see, go to applications and you will find Appium under this, right? So once you are able to see Appium under this, that means your Appium has been installed successfully, right? Now you just go here and say eject, we don't need it, right? Fine. So now what you need to do here is you just need to double click on this, right? Okay, so your Appium looks like this, right? when you when you see Appium UI and Windows, you don't find this option, right? But in Mac OS you will find both the options, Android as well as iOS, right? So that means what you need to do, so that means it's Appium supports both the things in Mac OS, right? Means like you can automate your Android as well as iOS applications with Appium if you are using a Mac OS, right? Okay, uh, just hold on for a second. Okay, so now we need to verify whether all the installation and prerequisites for Appium has been configured properly or not, right? For that, Appium is providing a very good option called Appium Doctor, right? You just need to click on this. It will open a terminal and it will check all your prerequisites, right? It will automatically check all your prerequisites for iOS, I'm not going to set anything for Android. I'm just going to set up, and I have already set up all the things for iOS. And if you see here, all are in green mark, right? When you do this, sometimes you may find here that Node is not installed, right? So in that case, it will give you a message as not installed. And if you want to install, click Y, right? So you just click Y and it will automatically install it if your machine has been connected to the internet, right? So once that is done, so it will give you all the green marks. If it is giving all the green marks, that means your installation, or I can say all the prerequisites for Appium has been already installed and configured for Appium, right? Okay, so before going to that, before going to write a script, I just want to add one more point here is like when you open your Appium at very first time, that time it will give you a small message saying Appium need to access all your simulators, right? So basically what it means is like Appium want to access your simulators, so you need to say yes, right? So if you say, once you say yes, that then Appium will directly access all your simulators, right? This is a very important step, don't miss that actually, otherwise your simulators will not work, right? Once you do yes, after that you can even verify all your simulators list under this, right? So right now I am using only one simulator, iPhone 5. That is the reason it is showing only one. Fine. And here it will show all the versions, right? Here it should show all the simulators which you have installed and you have provided the access to Appium, right? Great. Okay. Okay, so let me try to launch something and show you how it works, right? This is the first example which I'm going to show you, right? So I'm saying here I don't need any kind of settings, any settings, whatever the default settings it is coming, I am just using that. That's it, nothing else. Only check whatever the platform by default, it might be 8.1. So I hope your simulator is also working on 8.1 version, right? So don't need to do any changes, right? So I'm not going to do any settings on this, right? Okay, so just say launch. If you see here, all the flags has been set, right? Okay, so what I will do here is now I will open Eclipse. Okay, so for me Eclipse I have already installed it, so this is also a prerequisite. You can download the Eclipse from the, you can directly do a Google search for Eclipse and download the Eclipse for Mac OS. Okay, so once the installation has been done for okay, so sorry, so for Eclipse you don't need to install it, you just need to extract the build and you start using it, right? Okay, so create some workspace, which I already have it, right? Okay, so installation has been done, right? So now I'm going to show you how to start the first test, right? So I already have a test with me, right? So I'm going to execute that and show you how we can uh, execute the test with Appium, right? So I already have my setup ready and my sample script is ready, right? So here I'm using the iOS version, right, 8.1 and iPhone, and I'm going to open a settings, right? In simulator it will open a settings page and it will do some operations, right? So in this class what we are learning is we are learning whether our setup has been successfully set or not, right? Okay, so uh, I just need to say right click and run, right? Let me minimize it, and if you see here it has been already started, right? Sometimes it will show that this has been failed. Don't bother about that actually. Okay, in few seconds it will open a simulator here. See here, now simulator has been started by Appium itself. You don't need to start the simulator manually and keep it, right? This is not actually in Android. What we used to do is we used to start the emulator and then we'll start executing our scripts, right? But in this case Appium will automatically launch the simulator and execute your scripts, right? Let's wait for a few more seconds. It will open and start. It will execute our scripts. Don't worry, it has been closed, but it will open once again. Just be with me. I'm not sure why it will close and reopen it, but few times I observed this that in initially it will open a simulator and then it will close it, then again it will open it, right? Now see, it has been launched, right? Now it will open a settings page. Okay, anyways, so I'm going to stop this, right? So it has been launched the settings page, right, successfully. So this is a way you, even there are so many steps, so I'm not sure what happened, what went wrong, but yeah, this is a way you can launch your simulator and start executing your scripts, right? Thanks for watching my video. I hope if you like my videos, so please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.